again. This is Bob Randquist with an update on the Boca Rio Golf Club golf course renovation project. Weather this week was much improved from last week, as we only missed one day of work on the golf course when we received 3.2 inches of rain very early on Wednesday morning. We continued this week to repair bunker edges and clean up silt that was washed onto the gravel blanket for the better Billy bunker liners. On Monday, we will begin spraying the polymer binding material on the gravel blanket, and the occurrence of bunker washouts during rain events will be significantly diminished. Work also continued this week on installing drainage lines and adding the gravel blanket to fairway bunkers on the first 7 holes being prepared for planting. Our consulting architect Jim Nagel visited on Friday and marked additional bunker sand and grassing lines, a few new mounds that need to be constructed in out-of-play areas, and slopes around greens and bunkers that need to be modified slightly to facilitate improved surface drainage around greens and bunkers. After replacing greens mix that was contaminated with organic material with new greens mix, we began the process of restoring the previous green contours back onto the surface of the greens mix. In late March, before the renovation project began, survey maps of the green surfaces were developed using a combination of GPS mapping and laser-generated existing elevations. These computer-generated and stored maps allow us to determine the exact elevations that green surfaces need to be set at to match the previous green contours. Exact locations and their corresponding elevations are adjusted by mechanical and hand raking methods to assure that green contours are the same as they were before the renovation began. Even though the overall elevation of the greens mix surface may have been lowered from 1 to 3 inches, to restore the best depth of greens mix for improved green drainage properties, the final surface elevations can be adjusted to match the original green surface contours. By checking and adjusting elevations every foot or so apart on the greens mix surface, amazing accuracy for restoring the old contours can be achieved. When the golf course reopens next fall, you will clearly sense that green contours and surfaces have remained as they were before the renovation. Installation of piping, sprinklers, and control wires around greens at number 7, 8, 10, 12, and 14 was completed this week. The irrigation main line that was installed out to number 12 was attached to the new pump station this week. This branch of the main line will make irrigation water available to about 1/2 of the golf course after the new pump station is activated and tested on Monday. Installation of tee, fairway, and rough sprinklers on holes number 12 and 13 also began this week. It typically takes about 2 days to complete irrigation system installation for one golf hole. Work also started on installing the second main branch of the irrigation system main line from the pump station out to the 15th hole. This branch will be connected to the first main line already installed at the back of number 14 green, completing a full loop around the golf course. With the activation of the new pump station and the first main section of the irrigation system, we will be ready to start planting grass by the end of next week. Cultivation of the top 1 to 2 inches of the soil profile on tees, fairways, and roughs began this week. This tilling and cultivation will allow regrading and smoothing of the playing surface and other final preparations for grass planting to begin in earnest.